Here is a possible reason why the views on so many channels went down according to this German IT guy. This is the German IT channel The Morpheus, which also followed the situation about a drastic reduction in views. Stay tuned what he had to say. But first an introduction and what we know by now. Since some months a lot of YouTubers noticed that they get drastically less views and voiced that phenomenon. His views went down by about 40% and he looked into about 50 other German channels and their views dropped also between 10 and 50%, which happened around August, all at once, and saw the phenomenon starting in the middle of August this year. He saw that phenomenon also in America and also saw the blog of Jeff Geerling and the video of Linus Tech Tips. The problems of declining views is not per se a reduced income from YouTube ads, but a reduced payout from sponsors because they pay for the reach of the video, which the metric of is views. So if you get 40% less views, sponsors like VPNs or free food brands will pay you 60% less, which makes it not possible to live off YouTube for medium-sized creators. He knows about the argument of the summer pause, but he thinks it is not that, because the reduction in views is more than usual in the summertime of year in his 13 years on YouTube. Especially with his channel is the summer pause not that impactful usually. There's the argument regarding the change of the algorithm, which is usually the reason to see a reduction like that, but this is usually announced by YouTube before, but there was no announcement in any way of YouTube, no email or social media posts, and also the issue would have been likely fixed by now. There's also the angle of the restricted mode, but according to him, the restricted mode has been there for years, but the new thing about it is if the user does not provide an age, YouTube will guess the age based on the viewer's watch pattern and the YouTube AI can automatically activate the restricted mode. The two reasons why that is not the reason behind the reduction of the views in his case is that according to YouTube he only has 0.1% viewers in the category 17 and below, and that is the classification it is about, but the drop is larger than that. The second reason is that he has not one video which is removed by the restricted mode since the beginning of August, but the drop is still there. Another argument usually is the shadow ban. But according to him, there is nothing like that. There are no shadow bans on YouTube. There are no official statements or sources. And also he talked to YouTube directly and they say there is no shadow bans. And especially not for all creators of the whole platform on the same day. Another thing which speaks against shadow bans being responsible for the drop in views in his case is that his shorts in contrast were getting views quite well. Other arguments are videos for members which are displayed on the start screen or deleted videos which then screwed up the algorithm for those creators. But he did not do these things, but still has the same phenomenon. And the hype feature, which was introduced in Germany since July 2025, is also likely not the culprit, due to the phenomenon started being in the middle of August, but he is not so sure about it. Let's come to the two good theories about the drop in viewership. Number one is AI slop. He acknowledges that they have an advantage because they can scale indefinitely and AI models get cheaper, but they are not free and YouTube ads bring not much money. So the AI channel runners realize quickly that it is not worth it. And then there is the thing, why did the drop happen all of a sudden on the same time? The AI tools and channels exist since quite a while and flooded mostly shorts, but his shorts run well, so it is likely not that. The second good theory is the summer pause, which especially causes panic on creators which are not that long on YouTube, but Linus Tech Tips is there since a long time and he, the Morpheus tutorials, is on YouTube since 13 years. And for him it was usually not that bad and especially not for such a long time like now. His theory comes in now. He also saw a reduction in views on desktop computers across the board since the middle of August, especially the divergence between mobile watchers on long-form content which stayed the same in contrast to the desktop computer views. This was observable across all the channels he looked into. Josh Strive Hayes saw also the same thing in the analytics and uploaded a video about it. An important thing which was observed by Linus Tech Tips is that the income from YouTube ads stayed the same. There were problems with viewing YouTube if an ad blocker is activated, and YouTube said they did not change how they count views. So Josh concludes that the view did not reach YouTube because the viewers literally could not watch the video because they were blocked. The Morpheus now did some tests with unlisted videos on his channel, which he let run for at least 5 minutes on computer without being logged in and in incognito mode. He did not activate advertisements for those videos and tried it out 2 times, one time without adblock and one time with adblock, and both times it was not counted. Now he tried the same thing with another video, which was unlisted with incognito mode, etc, but now activating the advertisement on the video, and see, there was 1 view, and then 10 seconds later this same view was gone again. He also tried to watch the video anonymously over the browser on his mobile phone with activated mobile data, and he saw advertisement, and also tried it out in the mobile YouTube app in the obscure YouTube app incognito mode and still had advertisement, and it still stayed at 0 views. The only case where it made a difference if the view was counted or not was if he was logged in or not. This would make sense why the reduced views on computer, because on the mobile app you are usually logged in and there is a very small amount of people which even know about the incognito mode in the mobile app, but on computer you can log in or just view without being logged in. He tried it out on 30 live videos of him which get no views anymore without being logged in, and he saw advertisements, and 3 times a view appeared, but they disappeared again. Now he tried the opposite, being logged in and with adblock, and the view appeared. So his conclusion deducting from his tests is that YouTube does not count the views from users which are not logged in reliably, maybe because YouTube wants to keep out view bots. This could also apply to users with script blockers, ad blockers, using a VPN or using the Tor browser, but it does not seem to apply to that of a big degree. So his assumption is that YouTube tries to keep the bots out that way, because you can see the interaction stayed the same, the like rate stayed the same, and the amount of advertisements stayed similar. He cannot prove that to 100%, but another indicator is that on one of the unlisted videos the views from mobile reappeared after a while, and that the views from desktop computer reappeared partially. Another interesting thing is that he linked from one unlisted video to another and clicked on the link anonymously. The view counted. As you can see on the bottom, weitere YouTube Funktionen, additional YouTube functions. But the other unlisted video that he viewed after it was not counted. I translated the whole video and uploaded it on my second channel. Click for it on the top right or in the video description. There's also the original German version. I highly recommend you to watch one of those, because he expresses it a bit more in detail. The original German version is now on the top right. I made this video and the full translation of the video because I did not see that aspect in the English sphere, so it contributes meaningful to the conversation. And as far as I saw, he does not have an English channel or a plan to translate it, except maybe subtitles. I wrote a comment under his video asking about the video. If you want me to take down the videos, I am happy to cooperate and take it down or alter it if he requests. Preferably in the comment section of my video or as a response to my comment under his video. But I think it should not be a problem, but I can understand it since I used basically his whole video as a basis. A thing which in my opinion might correlate to the view decline phenomenon is that there was an announcement that how the views are counted changed, that you have to be an engaged viewer by liking, subscribing and commenting, but then it would be across the board and not only on desktop computer. If you found the theory of the Morpheus interesting, here is the sponsorship QR code from the advertiser which he had in his video, so you can support him indirectly. And if you speak German, I highly recommend to check him out. And if you speak English, look into the translation. This here is usually a gaming channel, but I think this topic kind of fits in the scope. I thought about making a separate channel talking about more current topics. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that idea. And with that, view while being logged in, like and subscribe. Plum out.